Joshua, today I have rolled away from you the disgrace of Egypt, and so that place is called Gilgal to this day. All the Israelites were camped at Gilgal. They kept the Passover in the evening on the 14th day of the month in the plains of Jericho. On the day after the Passover, on that very day, they ate the produce of the land, unleavened cakes and parched grains. The manna ceased on the day they ate the produce of the land, and the Israelites no longer had manna. They ate the crops of the land of Canaan that year. And please respond to me in response to Psalm 32. Happy are those whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered.
Happy are those whose Lord is no iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no deceit.
While I kept silence, my body wasted away through my groaning all day long.
For day and night your hand has been upon me. My strength was dried up as by the heat of summer.
Then I acknowledged my sin to you, and I did not hide my iniquity.
I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord, and you forgave the guilt of my sin.
Therefore let all who are faithful offer prayer to you.
At a time of distress, the rush of mighty waters shall not reach them.
You are a hiding place for me. You preserve me from trouble. You surround me with glad cries of deliverance.
I will instruct you and teach you ways you shall go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you.
Do not be like a horse or a mule without understanding, whose temper must be curbed with a bit and bridle, else it will not stay near you.
Many are the torments of the wicked, but steadfast love surrounds those who trust the Lord.
Be glad in the Lord and rejoice, all righteous.
And shout for joy, all you upright in heart.
And the epistle today comes from 2 Corinthians chapter 5. From now on, therefore, we regard no one from a human point of view. Even though we once knew Christ from a human point of view, we know him no longer in that way. So if anyone is in Christ, there is a new creation. Everything old has passed away. See, everything has become new. All this is from God, who has reconciled us to himself through Christ, and has given us the ministry of reconciliation. That is, in Christ, God has reconciling the world to himself, not counting their trespasses against them, and entrusting the message of reconciliation to us. So we are ambassadors for Christ, since God is making his appeal through us. We entreat you on behalf of Christ, be reconciled to God. For our sake, he made him to be sin who knew no sin, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God.
And let us proclaim the gospel. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Now all the tax collectors and the sinners were coming near to listen to him. And the Pharisees and the scribes were grumbling, saying, "This fellow welcomes sinners and eats with them." So he told them this parable. There was a man who had 2 sons. The younger of them said to his father, "Father, give me the share of the property that will belong to me." So he divided his property between them. A few days later, the younger son gathered all that he had and traveled to a distant country. And there he squandered his property in dissolute living. When he'd spent everything, a severe famine took place throughout the country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to one of the citizens of that country, who sent him to the fields to feed the pigs. He would gladly have filled himself with the pods that the pigs were eating, and no one gave him anything. But when he came to himself, he said, "How many of my father's hired hands have bread enough to spare, but here I am dying of hunger? I will get up and go to my father, and I will say to him, Father, I've sinned against heaven and before you. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me like one of your hired hands." So he set off and went to his father. But while he was still far off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion. And he ran and he put his arms around him and he kissed him. And then the son said to him, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son." But the father said to his slaves, "Quickly bring out a robe, the best one, and put it on him, or put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet, and get the fatted calf and kill it, and let us eat and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." And they began to celebrate. Now his elder son was in the field, and when he came and approached the house, he heard music and dancing. He called one of the slaves and asked, "What's going on?" And he replied, "Your brother has come, and your father has killed the fatted calf, because he has got him back safe and sound." Then he became angry and he refused to go in. And his father came out and began to plead with him. But he answered his father, "Listen, for these years I have been working like a slave for you, and I've never disobeyed your command, and yet you've never given me even a young goat, so that I might celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours comes back, who has devoured your property with prostitutes, you killed the fatted calf for him." Then the father said to him, "Son, you are always with me, and all that is mine is yours. But we had to celebrate and rejoice, because this brother of yours was dead and has come to life. He was lost and has been found." Gospel of the Lord.